everybody, and welcome back to Corporatra's podcast show. And honestly, this one hurts a little bit more. And Liverpool suffered a 1-0 defeat against Galatasaray in Istanbul. And it's not just the scoreline that's worrying. And now this could be sort of like a wake-up call for Arne Slot and the team as a whole. So I will talk a little bit about the atmosphere, the key moments in the game. What does this result do to us moving forward, and also how does this affect the morale of the team and how to play settle in, as well as looking forward at the big fixture coming up, which is against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So let's go into a little bit of a recap in the game. It was a very hostile night at Istanbul. Galatasaray known very well to intimidate their opponents, especially the supporters, the stadium, the whole atmosphere of the stadium as well. The Galatasaray fans, basically what they did was they were giving Liverpool sort of like a rude awakening in terms of setting off fireworks outside the hotel where the team was staying in Turkey. And the atmosphere in the stadium was intense. It was on different level. Noise was at a fever pitch. You could always hear the boos from the crowd, the whistling from the crowd, and every Liverpool touch that we made, every pass, every cross, every attack that we created, everything came with whistles and noises. On the pitch itself, things on the pitch, how we played, it didn't go too well for us as well. Galatasaray basically took the lead at the 16th minute when Szoboszlai sort of like he played out of position in his defense. He was the right back for the team. Salah was on the bench. We saw Florian Wirtz play in the midfield three together with Gravenberch and also Curtis Jones. And we saw the likes of Hugo Ekitike, who just got back from suspension and is also included in this game. We also saw Cody Gakpo play in the left wing. And in terms of the defensive players are concerned, the centre backs and the right back, we saw Szoboszlai play as the right back. Frimpong was playing in the right wing position, who came in for Salah instead for this game against Galatasaray. And also we saw Kerkez, Ibokonate, Virgil, Van Dijk, and also Alisson in goal. So basically this is the team that we went with. And like I said, Galatasaray basically took the lead in the 16th minute. It was a foul from Dominic Szoboszlai. I feel the foul done by Szoboszlai was a little bit too soft because when I think it was Baris Alpe Yilmaz who was brought down in the box. I think it was a really soft penalty. It was not necessarily needed to be a penalty in the first place. Not even a free kick to that extent, because Szoboszlai, who wasn't looking at the ball when Baris changed his position, he flinged out his arm, it hit his face. But I don't think it was intentional, so I don't think it was a penalty in my point of view. But penalty was given, and Victor Osimhen converted the penalty, and that goal basically ended up being a difference maker for us in this game. And in terms of what went wrong for the team as a whole, Liverpool had the most of the ball. We had 67% possession, over 500 passes, and 16 shots. 16 shots. But once again, the performance, just lacked a cutting edge. We lacked spark in the game. We just couldn't find the net on numerous occasions where we attacked the Galatasaray half. We just basically didn't do much at all. Yes, Galatasaray were resolute in the defending. They did their part. The fans did their part for them as well. But then at the same time, despite all the noise that was going on, despite the atmosphere and where we were playing, I thought maybe the players are well experienced and they are well versed in these sort of situations to turn up in these sort of games. But then it just did not happen. Basically, I think Slot's decision to keep Salah on the bench, I think, could be a major talking point, but then I don't really see much into it because Salah did not perform for the last 2-3 games. He was a little bit on the downside in terms of his output and what he was creating, the chances that he was creating. And then, by the time Salah came just over the hour mark, Galatasaray basically just settled to their lead. They were very, very defensive. They were playing for the most parts on the low block. They did have a few chances in attack as well. I do not want to take that away from them. Credit to them. They did their part. I think in this game, a lot of our new signings were under the spotlight. Players like Frimpong, Kirkes, Florian Wirtz, even Isak as well when he came off the bench after the hour mark. Ekitike as well, who couldn't find the net despite coming on goal quite a number of times. It just didn't look fluid. It looked a little bit void of. We were so devoid of ideas. It just didn't click at all at any point in time in the game. We were very, very sloppy with the ball. Isak also did not really look fit when he came on, but understandably so because he missed major parts of preseason as well. So he's slowly being integrated into the team. But then we did see sort of like glimpses of what he can do in the first 10 seconds that he came on and he had a chance. I mean, he fumbled the ball when he made the shot, but then he created a shot. Wirtz still continuing to struggle in the Premier League and in the team as well. I do believe personally in myself, and I know a lot of you Liverpool fans as well, that he will come good. At the end of the day, it's about the creating the chances and him providing chances for the attacking players, and that did not happen at all. I did see him take a shot or two. It got blocked. A lot of the times he tried to dribble past a few players. It did not happen. He kept getting fouled. I think the referee as well, it was, a lot of the decision making from the referee. It was just a very stop-start game. Every single tackle, every single foul, or any other small foul, it was just pointed out by the referee, kept giving free kicks to Galatasaray unnecessarily, which I didn't understand at all. The team basically did not just have any form of or sense of ruthlessness whatsoever. We were a very relentless pressing side when we were under the management of Jurgen Klopp. And against Arne Slot, we were still the same, but it was very measured. We took our time with it, but then we knew when to strike. But I think with new players bedding into the team and Slot trying to basically create this team out of his own image, trying to evolve the Jurgen Klopp team into a Arne Slot team, I think it was very evident to see. But then there is the reason why we could not see a lot of players clicking, new players trying to settle in their positions and all stuff like that. So as well as the finishing as well, we had a few chances here and there, but then it just needed a lot of improvement, and we lacked a lot in that department, the shooting department, finishing, creating chances. We were lacking in that a lot. Now, in terms of tactical decisions, it raised a little bit of question, most notably, which was Jeremy Frimpong being in the starting 11 ahead of Mo Salah in this game. He was used as a right wing and as a forward player rather than a defender for this game. And Soboslai dropped into defense. It just looked a little bit disjointed. It looked very unsettling. Most parts we were just losing possession, even though we had the most passes, we had the most shots, but at the same time, it just didn't click at all. Like some of the tactical approach of Arne Slot just did not make sense to me whatsoever. To make it worse as well, we also saw Alisson go off injured. Now, most likely, he will not be available for the game against Chelsea. And in his stead, we saw Mamadashvili come into the team. Didn't do much in the game as well because Galatasaray didn't do a lot of attacking. But then he did well to his part, coming on for Alisson. And also, we saw Ekitike going off injured as well. Later on, we also got an update from Arne Slot and from Ekitike as well that it was just basically cramp, and he's giving himself a sort of like a positive mindset ahead of the clash against Chelsea. It just compounded a sort of like misery for us. I did not do a video in regards to Crystal Palace due to personal reasons. I was not available. But I think the performances of these both games in against Crystal Palace and also against Galatasaray, it was very evident to see that we just lacked a lot of ideas. We didn't know what we were doing. I couldn't find the purpose for Florian Wirtz. Every time saw him with the ball, I wanted him to create key moments in the game, but then it just did not happen. Um, there are moments where he wants to find the striker, but then he couldn't. And then I saw a lot of the times Curtis Jones just rolling on with the ball, not doing much. He did good on his part. I'm not going to deny that. I don't want to criticize too much, but then there is no end product to it. So it was just very disjointed. Where does this leave us, sort of like in the landscape of the Champions League as well as the Premier League as well? Because we've lost a game, one game in the Premier League and also a game in the Champions League as well. So uh, we basically sit sort of like near to the bottom of the Champions League league phase, but I'm not too concerned about it because it's the Champions League. It's the league, sort of like the league stage, group stage sort of thing. So these kind of games, you will have moments like this, games like this from time to time. And perfect example was PSG. We finished top of the Champions League phase. uh, PSG dropped almost towards the 10th position, 8th position. They had to play like a playoff match and stuff like that. And then eventually they won the Champions League. So we got to take positives like that. I don't think this sort of like reflects how our whole season has been. We are still top of the league in terms of the Premier League is concerned. We are not. I'm not saying that we did not do well in the Champions League in this game. Yes, in this game we did not do well, but we also have another 6 games to go to play in the Champions League, and there's still more points that needs to be won. And I think this is sort of like a wake up call, a rude awakening for Slot, that he cannot take his tactical approaches too lightly. And I think it is not a cause, I mean, for Liverpool fans to call it as a crisis. I'm not going to say it's a crisis, but there is a problem. Defensively, we do have a problem. Slot needs to sort of like fix the problem and find ways to plug these gaps defensively so that we do not leak goals. We are also not scoring much goals because understandably so, because we do have new players need to bed into the team. The new players have to bid into the system of Arne Slot. They need to understand tactically how to approach the game, and I think it will take some time. Not just the new signings, I would also want to say like the existing players who were from the post-Klopp era, players like Soboslai. He was sort of like the players who wanted to prove something, wanted to do something for the team in this game. But players like Gravenberch, he had a good game against Everton, and then against Crystal Palace, he did have these blunders. So it's 2 games consecutively that he did not play well. Curtis Jones did okay, not too bad, but then still a lot of improvements needed as well because sort of like the end product wasn't there. Cody Gakpo, um, for the life of me, guys, one thing that I don't understand at all is the fact that Cody Gakpo plays at the left wing position alongside Kirkes, who plays as the left back, and we've we've been blessed to see players like Sadio Mane and Andy Robertson absolutely dominate the fullback position, especially on the left. And on the right hand side, we were privileged enough to see players like Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mo Salah absolutely dominate the right wing position. And both the flanks, we were blessed and privileged to see these players absolutely dominate. Put crosses in, have that sort of like those combination plays, that level of chemistry. And I see that I I generally don't see that at all one in any shape or form between Gakpo and Kirkes. More or less, even if it was Gakpo or Robertson on the team, it just baffles my mind to know that uh, he is a very reluctant. I mean, Cody Gakpo is very reluctant to play combination plays, 1-2s, play with that sort of like that overlapping system. I just basically did not see anything like that, and it was so frustrating to see, and it just boils my blood every time when I see Gakpo play that way. He did. I mean, this is not the first time I've seen Gakpo play like this. I mean, I've seen him play like this even before, I mean, even the season where last season when we won the league with Robertson, he refused to. Every time Robertson would play an overlap run, he would make an overlap run and he would refuse it. He would want to cut inside and shoot, in which I don't understand. You have three defenders looking at you, or two defenders, marking you, and you're still going to create a shot. And then the cross that you create, oh my God, the crosses that he makes when he cuts inside are horrendous. I mean, currently, right now, it's not looking good for Gakpo. And yes, I do want to admit that we do miss Diaz at these kind of moments in these kind of games where he's so direct. He likes to dribble the ball. You just need to have a little bit of conviction, a little bit of chemistry, the know-how to actually communicate with your left backs or your full backs in order to create significant chances for the team. Because players like Isak, players like Ekitike, they thrive on this. They thrive on players like Kirkes. Kirkes, who was last season the best left back in the Premier League, has come to our team and is trying to adjust to life at Liverpool, and he has not gone well for him. Particularly, yes, because defensively there are lapses in certain points in the way he plays. But then when he does an overlap run, I see the frustration on him. When I watch it, I can visibly see the frustration. He's just pissed. He has an open chance to overlap and he does not do it. It's just mind-boggling to me that he refuses to lay off the ball to Kirkes. The decision making just basically killed us in the attacking flow of the game. I have to put the blame as well on the defense as well. Van Dijk didn't really have a great game. He was okay. Did struggle against Osimhen, who was basically putting all his chips down, trying to go after Konate at most parts, and defensively just so many things that he was lacking in this game. Just very slow. At the end of the game, towards the end of the game, there was a corner, a cross came in, and then Konate was sort of like fouled, and then we thought it was a penalty. Then maybe we could salvage a point, but then the VAR came in, and then they said no, it's not a penalty, and they ruled it off. So I mean, that's all I can say. We do have a game coming up in the Premier League. It's going to be against Chelsea. I'm still 50-50 about it, whether if we can win the game against Chelsea as well, because Chelsea do have their issues. I think basically that's about it from me in terms of what I think about this game against Galatasaray. We lost, but then we still move on. We support the team till the end. So until the next game, which is against Chelsea, let me know what you guys think in the comments as well. Who do you think was who was sort of like the outstanding player in this game? Who do you think did not perform to their standards? What do you think needs to change? And do you think that this is a transition period for Liverpool after winning the Premier League? So let me know what you guys think. Do like, share, comment, and subscribe to the Cop Ultras podcast on YouTube. Do also follow me on TikTok as well. I'll be posting videos there as well. So till then, take care. I'll see you guys soon. And like I always say, guys, you will never walk alone, guys. Take care.